Welcome back to Good Day. Eventually the weather will turn fallish sooner than you think, and that's the perfect time to get outside and notice nature.
From colorful leaves and next year's buds to cones, nuts, and even helpful insects preparing for winter, there is a lot happening that we may never notice. So change that with a garden walk at Toledo Botanical Garden tonight at 6 o'clock. Amy Stone has why this is so important, and you brought a sample of what people might find when they're out for a simple little walk.
Absolutely. And so, you know, coming to a walk that's scheduled is wonderful, but if you just take 5 minutes out of your day to get outside, because we know the benefits of being outdoors in nature, and with the weather temperatures dropping, maybe additional people who maybe don't like it so hot, you know, kind of stay inside.
Perfect.
But I call it nature's scavenger hunt, and so trying to find different colors, different textures, and so I brought some examples here just of things that you might see. I know a lot of people have been looking and seeing the acorns this year, and so, you know, some people say that if we have a high masked year, which means a lot of acorns, that we might have a cold winter. And so
I didn't know that there was
because
I have been seeing a lot of acorns lately. Oh boy. Okay.
And this is true with all kinds of things. When we've got evergreens that are going to remain green and kind of give us that stability in the landscape. You were touching the hydrangea down here. And so, so it's called an oak leaf hydrangea, which is kind of cool because the leaves look like an oak tree. Right? Great fall color. The seed heads will stay on all winter long and can be attractive.
All these little seeds in
absolutely.
there.
And then right below
what is this little guy?
So this is milkweed.
Milkweed. Oh, this is what the monarchs like.
Absolutely. And there's been a lot of milkweed in the news lately because spotted lanternfly has been eating and being killed by milkweed. And it's just the beginning of a research project. We're learning more about it through Penn State Extension.
So the milkweed can kill the lanternfly?
That's what the observations have been. And in the lab, when they feed spotted lanternfly milkweed, it's toxic and they die.
Right.
So about 60–80% of them.
Milkweed is like the super plant.
It is because we've always wanted people to plant more to attract the monarchs and support that habitat, and now added bonus maybe.
Very cool.
There we go.
I'm looking at the ginkgo here because these leaves are just so unique, right?
Absolutely.
When you see them out and you see that just the shape of the leaf, but then they have the smelly feature too, some of them, don't they?
Right. So ginkgo is a little unusual that it has females and male plants. They're totally separate. And it's the females that produce the fruit that are stinky.
Why do females always get a bad name?
I know. So in the trade, though, when you go to a nursery or a garden center, what they're doing is they're selling you a male plant that has been grafted so you don't have to worry
about it. You don't have to deal with the stink.
Absolutely.
Well, that's cool. And just little pieces here that have a nice texture to them.
And give that a smell. Sometimes you have to rub it a little bit.
It's like minty, or it's kind of like a eucalyptus-y kind of.
Lavender.
Oh, that's lavender.
Yeah.
Oh, smell that.
And so, you know, we can enjoy nature with our eyes.
She's relaxed
I feel like yoga now.
Now it's on my fingers too, which is great. Yeah.
The other thing is sometimes, you know, plants have kind of an earthy smell to it. These are the leaves of Katsura, and it's a beautiful tree. This is kind of turned off color. They're more yellow when they fall.
Normally,
but they have a kind of a sweet smell to them. I always describe it as kind of toasted marshmallow.
Yes.
Some people can smell it, and other people are like, okay.
Something.
But at the garden, we have these, and I can smell them across the parking lot to know that it's like, oh my gosh.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
Get out there, enjoy, enjoy the nature and everything around you, and take really the time to look at the small things. So we've got a conference coming up in 2 weeks. It's called Noticing Nature, and it's encouraging people in their own backyard to be more conservation friendly. And so incorporating plants that are going to feed wildlife, support habitat, and you don't have to do it all at once, right? By adding little plants here or there, maybe keeping plants up over the winter that our birds can visit and eat the seeds. And so that's going to be at the Toledo Botanical Garden. We've got room for 75 people, and I think there's just 15 spaces left. So we're really excited.
Popular.
Get on
it's popular.
now.
But then for people who want to go for the walk tonight,
Absolutely.
do they need to register for that?
They don't. They just show up. It's free. They're going to enter off of the Elmer Drive entrance, and our office is right between the Rose Garden and the Inclusive Garden. So if they see Peter Navarre's cabin there, that kind of draws them right to our office, and we'll start at 6 o'clock and just take a walk and see what people see out in nature. And so I would love to hear, people's love for nature and in their own landscape, their observations.
Is it like a guided walk?
Yeah, so I'm going to lead, but we all just kind of add in our 2 cents, right? And what people see or what we want to talk about based on what people want to learn about.
I think it's cool because a lot of times I'll go out for a walk and I'll see something in the neighborhood and I don't know what it is or what, and I've always been curious. So you might be able to answer some of those questions for people tonight too, if whenever you're out on your walk and you're like, oh, I've always wondered.
Absolutely.
This is milkweed.
Yeah.
So the seeds are inside, and it'll open up, and it's that fluffy.
When is that? When does it do that?
So it's doing it right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So just keep an eye out for that because it's kind of what the little pod looks like, and then it'll open up, and then it'll look like that. Yeah. Is that what we're looking at up here, Amy?
Absolutely.
And so it opened up, and then the butterflies. When do they come and feast on those though? Because they're
migrating.
So they're
south.
in their migration right now. Yep.
Okay, so they're munching on the way.
That's right. And so plants like asters, things that are in flower, are really important for them so they can make that long trip.
Okay, yeah. So you can help figure out how you could support all of this too by attending the conference in a couple weeks. Register for that. Or if you just want to go out for a little walk tonight, Toledo Botanical Garden, starting at 6 o'clock. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.